From the East River Flats Park on the campus of the University of Minnesota, Prime Sports presents AVP Pro Beach Volleyball. Today it's the $100,000 Miller Lite Open. And Kent Steffes today. Subbing in for the vacationing Paul Sunderland. We've got a great semifinal for you. Mike Dodd, Mike Whitmarsh, Scott Ayakatubby, and Karch Karai. The weather today will be a factor. It is cooler than it normally is. 75 degrees. The wind is swirling, which will affect the jump servers, and the surface is hard pack. Mike Dodd in green. Black hat will serve it up first. His partner, Mike Whitmarsh, and they go right to Karch. Could be a point. Over to Whit.
Come on.
And it is. So Whitmarsh and Dodd score early, and they lead it 1-0. Our officials, the all-name team, Tom Burmeister is up. Excuse me, Steve Burmeister, and Tom Bischofberger is down below. Karch getting first serve, and he taps it over the top. What do you see in this particular matchup?
Well, it's interesting. Mike Dodd came out with 2 straight jump serves. Mike and Mike, now usually known as a jump serving team. We'll see if that continues the rest of the game.
Scott Ayakatubby, one of the great servers in the history of beach volleyball. And he's trying to clear the runway. The lines are jumping with the wind. The wind will favor which team?
The wind will favor Scott Ayakatubby the most because he's the best server out of all 4 of them. Mike and Mike have never been known to need or hate the wind. They don't necessarily jump serve, they float serve. They're big, tall players, so they can take an offset. So the wind doesn't affect them as much as it does other players.
Scott Ayakatubby now with 9 career wins. His latest last week in Chicago with Karch.
Hey, come on, line.
Dodd, and Dodd snaps it. One other thing about the weather conditions, cool weather historically helping Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. Mike, the oldest player on the AVP Tour at 37, and Mike Whitmarsh, who in the past has had heat and cramping problems, but no more. Ayakatubby, and Whitmarsh puts it away.
That was a little off, but Ayakatubby tried to go for the line shot. Not only did Whitmarsh block it, but Dodd was there to pick up the dig.
How difficult is Whitmarsh to get by?
Especially on an offset, he's very difficult to get by because, as you notice, he gets his head almost clearly over the net.
Come on, come on.
Another point could be coming up. Whitmarsh turn. It's 2-0. Dodd and Whitmarsh. Here comes Karch. And Dodd with a dig. Looking for a point. Got it. Dodd and Whitmarsh coming out very fast.
Mike Dodd, probably one of the best transition hitters there is on the beach. You get him up in the air, he'll hit the ball down and hard for that point. He doesn't try to shoot you. He doesn't try to go for the little weasel shot. He goes for the hard hit for the point.
20-second timeout taken by Karai and Ayakatubby. Semi-final action. Winner goes on to play Adam Johnson and Jose Loyola. Mike Whitmarsh, 1989, he was amongst the final cuts of the Minnesota Timberwolves basketball team. 9 career wins for this season. Interestingly, Whitmarsh and Ayakatubby tied on the all-time list with 9 wins. Whit just turned 33, and he's still getting better, isn't he?
Absolutely. He's 33. He gets better every year. He wasn't a volleyball player. He was a basketball player to begin with, but he's turned out to be a fine volleyball player.
Whitmarsh will serve, his team leading 3-0. Working on Karch. And Karch is very, very tentative so far. Dodd. And Dodd got blocked. So trying for the big hit down the line, and Ayakatubby, a very underrated blocker, was there.
Jumps well again. Hard-packed beach, so you're going to see a lot of blocks today.
Karch Karai, 34 years old, lives in San Clemente, California.
Good.
His team trailing 3-0.
There's line. Come on.
Karch, and nobody there. So Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh with the early 3-0 lead. Of course, Dodd's career well documented on Prime and NBC. 67 career wins, 5th all time.
Go.
Little cut shot, ace for Dodd.
Well, Karch and Ack have been having trouble on every single side out there is. They don't have a clean side out yet. They haven't had a big hit. You know, here's a great serve, just shanked it right into the crowd. He's got to get into that ball. Not usually aces by Mike Dodd, but he did that time.
That spinner out of bounds. Good side, bad side here, do you think, for serving?
Mike and Mike are on the good side right now, definitely.
Apparently.
Yeah, they got 4 points.
So Scott Ayakatubby trying to rev it up. His team trailing 4-0. Ryan Ayakatubby winning 5 tournaments, and Ayakatubby serves it into the net. Ryan Ayakatubby beaten by Johnson and Loyola in the semifinals of the winners bracket, and having to work their way back up through the contenders bracket. Ayakatubby, Whitmarsh is there.
Whitmarsh has been playing great. In this, he's got 3 tips already in this last block, so he's contributed 4 points for his team.
Timeout is called. 5-zip. The Mikes are ahead.
Mike said, no way, I'm putting it right down in the sand.
$100,000 in total prize money this weekend. First place 20, 11-4, 930, 7-130, 5,700. Did you ever think you'd be making this much money playing beach volleyball, Kent?
When I first started playing beach volleyball, I just wanted to be the best beach volleyball player I could. There wasn't even any money back then when I wanted to be a player. And now it's a great living, and you know, we got a great tour with a lot of good people making good money.
Mike Whitmarsh will serve it. His team leading 5-zip over Karai and Ayakatubby. Karai and Ayakatubby have looked very bad so far. Karai rejected. Ak got it. And Dodd can't pull it out. So Karai and Ayakatubby making a great save there. That would have made it 6-0.
They're really going to have to pull themselves out, Karch and Ak. They have not played a good game so far. They took the timeout at 3-0. Didn't really get together. They both walked away from each other, didn't talk, didn't try to fire each other up. And interesting enough, the wind is switched right here, and Karch and Ak might be on the bad side 2 straight times.
Shank pass, and it's going to be a point. So finally, Karai and Ayakatubby get a point. They saved that last one. A fantastic coverage play by Scott Ayakatubby. Karch Karai, probably the greatest player at ever covering the ball. As you look at his career totals, 106 wins. How many with Kent Steffes? 63. There's a block by Ayakatubby. Here comes Dodd. And Dodd loops into the corner.
Now, Mike and Mike got to be careful that they don't get complacent in here. They took out to the 5-0 lead. Possibly could have been 6-0. And they got to keep the pressure on and finish this game out.
Certainly the wind becoming a more important factor. The Nestea bottle is starting to lean in the corner. That means wind is
never played with Mike Dodd. I'd love to before he retires, definitely.
Dodd with the serve, leading 6-2. And Dodd with a dig. Could make it 7. And he does.
Well, Ack made the right call in that play. Karch not listening to him, goes over the line. Mike Dodd just sitting right there. Mike Dodd with 5 digs so far in this game, and that's been the difference so far.
7-2 now. Dodd and Whitmarsh running it up on Karai and Ayakatubby. Wind in Dodd's face now, so he'll jump serve. And Ayakatubby bounces one. Get that lineman moving out of the way on that one. Scott Ayakatubby made $58,000 last year. This year he's already way ahead of that, $73,655. And Ack will serve. 2 serving 7.
Come on. Yeah, light. Hey. All right.
Nice dig by Ack.
No, cut. Come on.
And he whacks it right down the middle. So Karai and Ayakatubby 1 point trailing 5-0. And 6-1 have made a mini comeback. Still plenty of time. 6:35 to go. 7-3. Dodd and Whitmarsh. 7-3. Dodd and Whitmarsh. Leading by 4 over Karai and Ayakatubby. Karai and Ayakatubby down 5-zip, have come back just a bit. Of course, Karch Karai, one of the most decorated players in the history of volleyball, outdoors and in. A couple of gold medals. He's won just about everything you could possibly win as a volleyball player. Whitmarsh punches it through. Mentioned that this is a first-time site outdoors. The AVP Tour did play indoors here in February at the Target Center. That tournament won by Kent Steffes, my broadcasting partner, and Karch Karai. They beat Dodd and Whitmarsh in the final. Karch through Dodd.
Okay, Karch and Ack have finally sort of adjusted to the Mike Whitmarsh block. He's such a big player and such a good blocker that it takes you a few points in the beginning of a game just to get used to how tall he is, to get used to hitting the shot over him, to hitting the hard ball by him, because he's got such an incredible reach.
Karch with the serve, trailing 7-3.
Go, go, go.
Great shot. Karch goes and gets it anyway. Dodd.
Come on.
And Ack is there.
Nobody.
Ayakatubby dug by Whitmarsh. And Whit puts it away. How much does a rally like that mean to you psychologically?
That's huge. A long rally like that. Again, Mike Whitmarsh with the great dig. Talking about that earlier. This place he's really improved. He gets both of his hands up, which is really tough. You're running backwards and having to get your hands up, block forward.
7-3, Dodd and Whitmarsh.
Come on, Mike!
And Dodd is there. He read the cut, and Whit spanks it. That makes it 8-3.
They're going to have to do something right here, right now. Start putting a little more pace on the ball. Start really going for it.
Talking about Karch and Ayakatubby.
Karch and Ayakatubby. Their shots don't seem to be going down. Their off hits don't seem to be getting by. They got to start hammering the ball.
Dodd with the serve. And Ack is into the net. So Karai and Ayakatubby trailed 5-0, 6-1, made a little comeback to 7-3, but now have given up 2, and suddenly it's 9-3. So Karch and Ack are getting swamped here, and they have to take a full timeout. So Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh looking very good at this point.
Absolutely. They're playing great, and Ack and Karch are not playing with any intensity whatsoever.
Coming back to Minneapolis after this. Weekend. Paul vacationing with his wife, who's Swedish, in Sweden, along with their family. So Kent Steffes filling in. Scott Ayakatubby and Karch Karai in big trouble. If you just turned on your television, said Dodd and Whitmarsh working them over 9-3 with 5:49 to go in the game. Difference has been on Dodd and Whitmarsh a little more peppy.
Well, I mean, you can set the ball in the net, you can make the digs, you can do the serves, but if you're not playing with intensity, you're not going to win.
Whitmarsh goes and gets it. And pokes it right over Karai. So Whit gets the kill, side out.
One of his favorite shots, Mike Whitmarsh. A little dink back to the line.
Whitmarsh will serve. Just his 4th year on the Pro Tour. Made $202,000 last year, by far his best year. Ayakatubby slices it down the line. Karai and Ayakatubby, strategy now.
Well, they got to get some lucky breaks here. They got to get an ace serve. They got to get a couple blocks. They got to get Mike and Mike off their game a little bit. And they got to start siding out.
See the success that Karai and Ayakatubby have had as Dodd punches it through.
Again, they've maybe been served, Karch and Ak have maybe been served 20 times and have had like 3 or 4 clean side outs. And by clean side outs, I mean the other player's nowhere near it. Everything else has been a tip, has been a dig, has been a scoring opportunity for Mike and Mike.
Dodd and Whitmarsh 9, Ayakatubby and Karai 3. And Karch goes over the top. So Scott Ayakatubby will serve it up.
Yes.
Looking for the ace, and he missed it. Out by about 3 inches. And so Dodd and Whitmarsh will get it back. Dodd and Whitmarsh, one of the steadiest teams on tour. Had a poor finish last week in Chicago, a 7th. I can't remember who I was talking to, Kent, but I thought that Dodd and Whitmarsh would do well this week, because usually when they play poorly the week before, they get fired up and they usually rebound very well.
Definitely. They take that little weekend off, maybe play a little less, get home early, come out the next weekend smoking.
Karch with the serve. It's a 9-3 lead for Dodd and Whitmarsh.
Oh, go!
It was kind of funny. I was talking to Dodd and Whitmarsh last week in an interview, and they both told me they don't practice during the week anymore. They don't practice volleyball. They do a little cross training, maybe.
Well, good story on Mike Dodd. He says, hey, I'm 37 years old. I only have so many jumps left. Do I want to waste them in practice or in the tournaments?
Good point. Contrast that with Karai and Ayakatubby, who work out a lot and play a lot. Ayakatubby with a soft little cut shot.
Karai's just a workout machine. Not only does he work out hard throughout his whole career, but he's advanced that recently by getting a strength coach this year, by having a stretching guy.
Yes.
In order to prolong his career and keep the level of conditioning he's had into his later years.
Ayakatubby with the serve, trailing 9-3. The points were scored so quickly. If you're a Karai Ayakatubby fan, there's plenty of time to make a comeback. 5 minutes and 11 seconds. So a lot of points just given away early, and earned points also for Dodd and Whitmarsh. Here comes Karch. And Karch still hitting off speed. Got that one down, cross court. Karai, 106 career wins, 63 with Steffes, 21 with St. John Smith. Now 5 with Ayakatubby, had 9 with Frohoff, and 3 with Mike Dodd amongst the gang. All right, we're going to take a short break. We're coming right back. 9-3 the Mikes. Appearance. And Whitmarsh, who has been Johnny on the spot at the net, another block, and now it is 10-3.
Well, Ak tried to turn that ball back to the line, and Mike's one of his greatest moves is he fakes like he's going to block the middle and then reaches those big long arms outside and gets the block back into the court.
Whitmarsh accounting for a number of the points as Karai finally gets one by. Got 2 blocks for Whitmarsh, 2 stuff blocks, but he's touching a lot of balls.
He's got 5 touches so far.
Okay.
Whereas on the other side, Ak, number 8 in the Power Ace Award, has none so far this game.
Pretty good serve. 10-3 is our score.
Come on out.
And Whitmarsh lobs it down the line. When you used to play against Dodd and Whitmarsh, what was your serving strategy in terms of who to serve?
We'd like to mix it up. We'd like to see which guy isn't playing as well as the other one. Attempt to get them uncomfortable, each one not knowing who's going to get the serve. So it wasn't a definite strategy, we're going to serve Dodd to start it off with, or Whitmarsh? Well, no definite strategy of who you're going to serve to start off with, and then see who's playing poorly. Again, if you serve one of them, they get into a really nice groove. The interesting thing about them is it looks like they have trouble passing the ball. For some reason, the pass is always good and the set's always good.
Well, neither of them need a great set at the net.
There's that shot again, right back to the line. Mike Whitmarsh loves that shot, and pretty much the only way you can defend that shot is if you're running on it prior to when he hits it, which means that you got to commit to that shot, and he's got to hit that shot.
10-3, Dodd and Whitmarsh by 7. Semifinal action, Johnson and Loyola are next. Johnson and Loyola really have mowed through this tournament. They have played splendid volleyball.
Again, conditions couldn't be better for them. The hard-packed sand sitting on top of the grass lets their jump serve whip through other teams.
If you're wondering, this is a grassy area here at the East River Park. 12 tons of sand dumped on center court alone as that jump serve just goes long.
The difference in this game is about a half a foot. They've missed the line 4 times. It could have been 4 aces, 10-7, who knows what it would have been.
Just over 4.5 minutes to go in the game. 10-3, Dodd and Whitmarsh. And off the hands, out of bounds, goes Ayakatubby. 13 consecutive wins back in 1992 with Kent Steffes, but you did not break the record of Jim Menges and Greg Lee.
No, we tied it.
How disappointed were you that you did not break it, looking back now?
Not disappointed at all, I got to tell you. The tie was fine. Winning 13 in a row had not been done since 1976, especially with the talent that's on the tour now. We were real proud of winning those tournaments.
10-3.
Come on, go, go, go!
Again, Ack hitting the ball and getting the kill on that one, but Mike in position to maybe make a play on that. The 2 times before, Whitmarsh got a touch on it and blocked the one before that. Again, Ack hasn't really started to hit the ball that hard down yet. He hasn't figured out Mike Whitmarsh, and he hasn't been able to get by him.
Timeout call. We'll be back. Minnesota, yeah, looking good up here in Minnie. Along with Kent Steffes filling in for Paul Sunderland this week, I'm Chris Marlowe. Karch Garai and Scott Ayakatubby taking a thumping so far. The Miller Lite Cup, $1 million in prize money, and Kent Steffes, you're going south. You're out of the top 8.
I've dropped. I'm still in the top 10, though. Hopefully, if I get back in time, I can climb my way up.
Karch, Dodd, Whitmarsh, very, very close now, especially if Dodd and Whitmarsh could win here today. Karch with the serve and counted an ace.
Okay, Karch and Ack might have started on this side at 11-4, but remember, they're on the good side now, and they have the 2 big servers. If they can get 5 points the way Mike and Mike did to start this game off, we're looking at an 11-9 game, and it gets real tight.
Garai has pumped up his serving velocity. Not on that one. Whitmarsh, Karch with an easy dig. Chance for a point.
Line! Come on!
Dodd digging back.
Over!
Nice shot. And the collision under the net, but they're going to rule incidental contact. Another terrific twisting set by Whitmarsh to shovel it up there.
Well, another unbelievable dig by Mike Dodd, and Whitmarsh gives him the good set. And Mike goes running under the net and almost takes out Scott Ayakatubby on that play. Scott maybe trying to grab him, trying to get the call, trying to get the interference call.
11 serving 5 here in the semifinal. 3.5 minutes to go.
Over.
Ack. And Ack delivers.
A great hit by Ack. Tough for a right side player to hit that ball down the right side. You have to torque your body in such a way in order to get that ball down there. Really tough hit. He hits it high and hard past Mike Whitmarsh.
Ack and Garai trailing by 6. And now by 5.
Again, Mike and Mike, even though they're up 11-4, they got to be cognizant of the fact that they're on the bad side. And the good side can score a lot of points real quick.
Took the turn at 11-4. 2 quick Garai Ayakatubby points have added and made it 11-6, and a 20-second timeout taken by Dodd and Whitmarsh. So Dodd and Whitmarsh perhaps sensing a momentum shift. Karch likes to hang right out on that court and get into it, doesn't he?
He doesn't like to lose his focus one bit. It'll be 130 degrees. Everyone will run for the towel or the shade, and he'll be standing right out in the middle of the court. Let's get ready to play.
Was it difficult to adjust to playing to Karch when you first started playing with him?
Well, when I was 20, I think, yeah, it was really difficult to adjust. But as I've matured and gotten older, no, a lot of his games rubbed off on me.
The maturity or getting older?
A little of both.
Ayakatubby went to toss, and the wind is really gusting and swirling now. Ayakatubby Karai trailing 11-6. At one point, they were trailing 10-3, so they made up a little ground. Ack. Scooping it out. And putting it away.
Great hit back to his line by Mike Whitmarsh. Karch Karai maybe giving him a little bit too much there. He had Ack on the angle, ready to dig it, and Karch tried to get in there and block that ball, maybe thinking Mike Whitmarsh wasn't going to go for such an extreme hit.
Over him. No, no.
That's out of bounds. Point, Dodd, and Whitmarsh.
Well, if you're going to go over Mike Whitmarsh, you're probably going to hit it out because he's big and tall.
3:15 to play, 12-6. Dodd and Whitmarsh. Right, Ayakatubby doing a lot of talking about timeouts, and that usually signals you're not playing very well.
Well, you try to get a little stall. You try to extend your timeout by asking the person how many timeouts. You know exactly how many timeouts you are. Maybe get an extra 10, 15 seconds to think about things.
Timeout. We'll be back in a minute. Ayakatubby and Karch Karai playing Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. Dodd and Whitmarsh got off to a fast start, 5-1, led at one point 10-3. Karch and Ack caught up a bit, made it 11-6, but just moments ago, Dodd and Whitmarsh getting another point on an out hit, and now it is 12-6. 3:09 to play in the game.
Well, Karch and Ack have been siding out well with them since that initial run of points by Mike and Mike, but they can't do that. Their clock's against them. They got to go out and score points. They just can't trade points one for one.
Here's Dodd, who started off serving very well and put pressure on Karai and Ayakatubby early. Here's Karai, cross court. (12-6), Dodd and Whitmarsh.
Nobody. Okay.
Ack with a dig, but it's spinning wide. Karai and Ayakatubby just having all kinds of problems today, getting it together. Transition game, serving game, side-out game. And give credit to Dodd and Whitmarsh. They came and jumped on him. I think you have to do that against Karai and Ayakatubby. Once they get a lead, you're dead.
They came out with the big jump serves, unusual for Mike and Mike, and have been blocking well. Mike Dodd has been digging well. And I think this game's in the cooker, Chris.
Ayakatubby's spike is out of bounds, and it's 13-6. So Dodd and Whitmarsh. A 7-point lead. Still talking about the timeouts, and Karch going to take another sand timeout. So Karai and Ayakatubby trying to slow it down. We'll slow it down for a minute. We're coming right back. 2:51 to play. The Mike's by 7. All right, we are back. I'll tell you one thing I was surprised about, Kent, in your broadcasting debut, how much makeup you use. You use almost as much as Sunderland as Karch whips up the ace.
Well, I have to look good on camera. I mean, I'm sitting next to you all day long.
8-13 now, as Karai and Ayakatubby try to come back. They've been down the entire game. Nice pass by Dodd, and Dodd cuts it into the corner. Dodd Whitmarsh, they won't panic. They'll make Karai and Ayakatubby earn the points. 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go. Do you try to slow it down if you're Dodd and Whitmarsh? They play pretty slow anyway.
They usually do play a little slow.
Ayakatubby, Whitmarsh got it. Hey, when Whitmarsh gets one, there's no doubt about it.
It's straight down. The real problem with beach volleyball is if you're playing bad, there's no hope for you. It's not like basketball. They can't sub you out. You can't throw it into Magic and let him do it. They're coming at you all day long. There's no let up.
All right, it is game point for Dodd and Whitmarsh here in the semifinal. 14-8. And Ayakatubby chops it hard. So Ayakatubby will try to crank it up for one last run here. 14-8. And the jumper just not there.
Four service errors for Ack with 0 service aces. Again, number 8 on the list of AVP players for most aces in a game, has none today.
Here comes Ack and Whitmarsh again. Now Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh about as dominating as you will see against Karai and Ayakatubby. And Dodd and Whitmarsh are moving on. They will play Jose Loyola and Adam Johnson for the championship here in Minneapolis. Stay with us. There's more to come on Prime.